Are these the ones?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and there's multiple.
There's actually 8 of them.
Holy majoli. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. Will you make copies of them?
Yeah.
I didn't know how many people were really coming,
sure.
so just 8 copies of them, please.
Yeah. So make sure there's a total of 8 each one.
9 each one.
Make 9 each one.
But there's already 1.
Okay, so make 9 copies of each one.
Sure.
Okay. And did you hit record?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think I did.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
So this
This is my first workshop, okay, so bear with me. Okay. Let me get my water together here.
Just stay a dog, Henry, just stay a dog.
Yeah. He's got it easy. And so actually, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just gonna wait a second for that one, the first one.
Okay. And 9 you want, right?
Just go.
That's perfect. It's divine, Don.
That's right.
Leona, did you want a chocolate chip cookie?
Do you think maybe I do?
Yes.
Would I do that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you, Richie. So yes, if you'll just hand one out for you, my dear. Perfect. You're so welcome. It's nothing like eating a chocolate chip cookie before an intermittent fasting workshop.
Before lunch or
Glasses, yes.
Hot off press, thank you.
Thank you, Don and Richie, my helpful assistants.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to read it too?
No,
You
he
want the
wants to-
cookie?
yeah. He was ignoring me till I got the cookie. Mhm.
Thanks, sir.
Look, I'm not getting any younger.
No, you're not really.
Me either.
Thank
you.
Extra there, right?
Thank you so much.
Did you get one?
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I just had to have
my glasses so I could read it.
Yeah, that's good. You need your eyes. So just a quick safety note, of course, I don't know if this will apply to you, but if you're pregnant, diabetic, or have like a severe medical condition, you would want to talk to your doctor before you try any type of fasting, okay? Just to be safe. So, who recalls the article from last week?
I don't recall last week.
So that's the article from last week that you have in your hands there. So you've probably had a quick moment to glance over it or read it all the way. What is your biggest takeaway from what you're seeing there?
Bankruptcy.
Yes. Yeah.
Poor health is bankruptcy. If we think of it that, you know, I mean, when we think bankruptcy, we're broke, we have nothing. But if we get that head knowledge where poor health is, we're bankrupting our bodies.
Absolutely. Especially considering the number one cause of bankruptcy is medical debt. So because of that, you know, I started thinking about how can we prevent this type of malfunction going on in society. So I always say food is our first line of defense.
Yeah.
However, if we don't know what to eat, that defense obviously is not going to be as effective as it could be. So how many of you feel like you're eating enough but still feel tired, sluggish, and lacking energy?
I made enough cookies that just.
I'm sorry. No. Okay, yeah, so pretty much all of us, right? So what if the issue wasn't how much we eat, but instead knowing when and what to eat to enhance the healing effects in your body? Because like I said, food is your first line of defense. So I do have this second handout. Thank you, sir. And I love this concept right here because honestly, what we don't realize in our society is that food is literally created to aid our body. There are so many different foods, and the interesting thing that you'll find on this paper is that they are shaped in a way to literally support specific body parts. Yeah, but actually, Don, it's okay.
Okay.
So
wow.
isn't that so interesting? I love that idea. So when you hear the word whole foods, what comes to mind?
Organic.
Yeah? Yeah? So basically, I'll give you the definition of whole foods. Whole foods are natural, nutrient-dense foods that are unprocessed or minimally processed, keeping them as close to their original or natural state. So essentially, if it grew, walked, swam, it's probably a whole food. So your body recognizes these real foods and knows exactly what to do with that food and where to put it. If you're shopping at the grocery store and a product you pick up off the shelf has 15 ingredients on the label that you can't read, do you think your body knows what to do with that? Yeah, probably not. So when we eat whole foods, we experience an abundance of positive effects. I just want to check in with Dawn, though. I do have one other handout. I'm so sorry. This was my fault that I didn't have these prepared. Would you mind taking one and passing it around? This is just a helpful list for everyone when you go to the store to have a great reference for what a whole food is. It kind of just makes life easier, so we're not questioning everything when we go to the store, because it's very overwhelming. I know it is for me. So when we eat whole foods, we experience a bigger intake of important vitamins and minerals, as well as antioxidants. We experience reduced inflammation, improved digestion and gut health, more stable energy and improved mood, and improved heart health. So think of a time if you've ever eaten a really clean meal and noticed how you felt afterwards compared to if you eat like pizza or Burger King.
Oh,
Yeah, it makes a huge difference, right? So this is just my disclaimer. I am new to fasting. I love eating all the bad food, as you can clearly see. I joke all the time that I'm a 10,000-pound woman on the inside, so I do not skip meals. In the last couple of weeks, I made a goal for Lent of eating mostly whole foods, like 80% compliance, and I lasted maybe 2-3 weeks. But in those 2-3 weeks, yeah, I've noticed some incredible changes in my body. Like, I often deal with swelling in my fingers and legs, and I didn't have as much of that, or really any of it. I felt less sluggish. I felt like I had a more clear focus on what I am doing. So, and the best part was it helped me change my mindset. Like, I noticed after the fact that when I am hungry, I'm not immediately thinking about chicken tenders or something like that. And I'm also not eating as much as I was, which my pants are thanking me. So now that we've talked about what is good to eat, let's talk about when to eat and why that might matter just as much. So to give you the definition of intermittent fasting, it's defined as cycling between eating and not eating. So this is not about starvation. It's about giving your body a break from constantly digesting food. There are many different versions of intermittent fasting. However, today I'm going to focus on the more introductory forms. I do have a handout, however, that, yes, thank you, Don.
Actually, am I copying all of them just so I'm...
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
sorry,
Oh,
that's my
fine.
fault.
No, that's fine. I wanted to take the pants then.
I am a kinesthetic learner, and I have to have like physical things to keep me focused, and also like images are very helpful to me too. So I just felt like the handouts are very beneficial.
It's more engaging as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you something to, you're getting a lot of information at once. So, so there are many different versions of intermittent fasting. I'm going to focus on the more introductory forms. However, here is a handout that lays out any other types you might be interested in learning more about. If you find yourself wanting more information about anything you see, just let me know. I've got some resources that I can give you that will help you get started on that pathway. An awesome introductory pace is called the circadian rhythm. So the circadian clock in your body is your 24-hour biological clock that prompts the release of specific chemicals that tell your body to either wake up or ease into sleep. So something you're probably familiar with is cortisol, which is what your body releases to wake itself up. Generally, it releases it when it starts to take in sunlight. So when you open your eyes, cortisol is released to energize your body. And melatonin is what your body releases when you're trying to go to sleep. So essentially, this equates to allowing yourself to eat when the sun is up and fast when the sun is down. This allows your body to enhance its natural rhythm in correlation with nature while improving other aspects of your health like lowered cortisol and deeper, better sleep. So, to kick it up a notch, I have another handout.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This one is great because it gives you a visual of the 16-8 fast, which is the most popular version of fasting. I also think it's the easiest to do because we're all at work, and sometimes it's really easy. Like, I'll come in and I really won't eat until lunchtime, and then when I go home, I might eat like a snack or something afterwards, but I'm usually still full for my lunch. So it's kind of great because you can eat your lunch and maybe have a snack around 6 or 7, and then fast from that time to your next day at lunch.
We pig out at 8:30.
Yeah, but you could adjust your fast to where it would allow for you to have that type of time frame. So the next level, and probably the most common, is the 16-8. This is where you fast for 16 hours and eat during an 8-hour window, such as 11 to 7. You could do like 1 to 9 if you wanted. Most of us already fast, we just don't realize it. And intermittent fasting is simply about being intentional about that window. So this type of fasting is popular mostly because it promotes weight loss, improved metabolic health, and reduced inflammation by limiting food intake rather than restricting food intake, allowing your digestive system to rest and allows your body to distribute nutrients to other organs for them to process. It is closest to the autophagy fast, which you'll see on your handout that I provided. Autophagy defined is the body's cellular self-cleaning process, breaking down damaged components and recycling them for energy to maintain your cellular health, which we all know your cellular health is what is making you, it's, how you look, and how your body feels over time is that cellular repair and cellular growth. So it is induced by stress such as fasting or intense exercise, which it was interesting writing this up because in relation to the fast, I read how it's actually better to do like extended periods of cardio, which I found interesting. I thought that if you did more intense short bursts of cardio that would be better for you, but it was the opposite, which I found that to be very interesting. And it offers benefits like anti-aging, disease prevention, and improved cell function. So in simple terms, your body starts eating all the sugars and fats you've fed it first, which leads to improved cellular renewal, keeping you looking youthful for longer, more consistent energy levels, a boosted immune system, and reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or even cancer.
Wow.
It's very interesting the connections to those illnesses that we gain from our food and our diet. So,
Good to know about Parkinson's, actually.
yeah. Pardon me for a moment.
You're sharing that.
My water?
Yes.
He needs some?
No, you already had some.
Oh!
I think we're fasting now.
I just boosted my immune system. Hey!
Henry's like, that's not funny. She touched my water.
He's obsessed with me. I don't know what to say. So, during the fast, okay, no food allowed, of course, duh.
Oh.
However, non-caloric beverages are allowed, so water, black coffee, or plain tea. Now, during the feed, it's really important to focus on refeeding your body the healthiest way that you can. That way you get the most out of your fast. So focus on whole foods, including fruits, veggies, healthy fats, and lean proteins, rather than just cutting calories. Remember, it's not just about what you're eating. It's about allowing your body time to process and heal during the fast, and then, this is very important, allowing foods into your body that are full of healing properties, as the goal is to reintroduce whole foods that enhance your body's natural functions. Because, as we like to say here, the power that made the body heals the body. There is no other way. So we should use our natural resources to be able to boost what we were born with. Of course, medication is going to be, something that we're all going to have to partake in, But if we can, benefit from living more naturally, that's really the goal. So how often do you think the average person eats in one day?
What was the question?
How often do you think the average person eats in one day?
Oh, I eat once a day.
Yes, me
All
too,
day.
All
Becky.
day.
8 to 10.
Yeah, so the average American is eating 5 to 6 times a day. They're snacking in between that constantly.
Yes.
Not to mention how much bread we ingest in a day.
Oh, yeah.
I've taken the time to notice that often I will have sandwiches, and gosh,
Yeah.
that's like a whole loaf of bread in one day. Like,
Yeah.
that is wild.
Yep.
So, and the funny part I wrote down was like, that was the only time I was getting any lettuce was on my giant sandwiches that I was eating. So, if we're always eating, when does the body have a break to repair itself? Right, it doesn't. So when you're always eating, your body is constantly working to digest your food and spends most of its time relying on sugars in the system for short-term energy, which is full of brain fog, energetic highs and lows, and swelling due to inflammation. So John, if you wouldn't mind, handout number 6, please.
That's this guy, right?
Yes,
Cool.
you got it. So when we intermittent fast, we experience an abundance of benefits such as more energy, better digestion, hormone balance, cellular repair, reduced inflammation, fewer cravings, fat burning, lower cholesterol, natural healing, better sleep, slows the aging process, lowers your cortisol, which is that chemical that forces your body to hang on to fat. And also it prevents neurodegenerative diseases and lowers your carcinogenic effects in the world, which is your cancer-causing agents, which we're running into all day, every day. So has anyone ever skipped a meal and felt more clean rather than sluggish?
Yes.
Yeah, same, definitely. So here is where it gets really powerful. Think of your body like a house. Whole foods are the high quality building materials, and fasting allows the repair crew to actually go in and work. So what do you think happens when we give the body poor materials and no time to repair?
Build your house on the sand.
Yeah, you're experiencing bloating, upset stomach, probably not feeling so great in your brain, maybe that 3 p.m. slump. So now that we have the foundational understanding of how our body responds to food and the timing of our meals, we can use this information to build a practical starter plan. So I'll give you 3 steps here. They're very simple. And hopefully, easy to remember, but you probably already know. I have a handout for this. So, actually not in that one, but at the end. So, the first step is, like I said earlier, this is not about starvation, okay? It's about the timing of your eating. It's not about restricting what you eat. It's about putting it in a window where you're not eating all day, every day. So step 1, add, don't subtract. Add 1 whole food to your diet per day or per week. And the trick here is that over time, your body's gonna start craving that food rather than the French fries or the burger, because you're gonna experience that positive energetic reaction versus that negative energetic reaction. Step 2, create a small eating window. A good way to do this is to maybe stop eating 2 or 3 hours earlier than you normally would, like before bed. Another easy way is to maybe push your breakfast back a little further, 2 or 3 hours. This is an easy way to sort of get your body used to fasting. Trust me, the stomach pains were kind of tough to deal with, but I was really sick, so it sort of forced me into this fast, but I benefited from that. And then step 3, which is probably the most helpful step, you want to wake up and hydrate. Drink water first thing in the morning before anything else. Hydration is absolutely key. What is probably the most common thing you've ever heard about when you start your car? Anyone? Wait a minute. Don't start it and pull right off. And the reason that they say that is so that all of the fluids that your car requires to operate are able to run through the system, clean out whatever needs to be cleaned out, and then it's all functioning properly. And that's what water does. We wake up and we still have like the sleepy melatonin chemicals running in our body. When you drink water, that helps your body wake up. you're looking at the sunlight, that cortisol is releasing, and it kind of suppresses your appetite right off the bat. So by drinking water right when you wake up, you reduce that snacky feeling caused by dehydration. You also jumpstart all of your bodily functions. This helps prevent fatigue, suppresses hunger, supports detoxification, and maintains vital electrolyte levels, which helps you maintain consistent energy levels. I also had a handout number 7. Yes, that one. So I kind of forgot to say this, but this is fun to compare, and I'm sure that we all have experienced these symptoms of overeating. I know I have, like I said, 10,000-pound woman on the inside. So, and then Don, while you're doing that, will you pass out the next one as well?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, so to keep things fun and flavorful, you could try making an infused water, which there are so many benefits that come from that too. Adding lemon or ginger can boost your metabolism and improve digestion while suppressing hunger at the same time. I do have a nice handout that will give you some tips about different types of infused waters that you can drink. One of my favorites is actually on there. It's a cucumber lemon mint water. So not only does it taste amazing, but it helps detox your body. It helps like hydrate so your skin is looking really nice and things like that. And it's they call it like a flat belly water, you know, it just helps with bloating and things like that. So keep in mind, this is not about perfection, it's about progress, one step at a time. If you fall off at some point, strive to start over with your next action, not the next day or the next week. That's really the hardest part of anything that we do, right? Is having discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I struggle with it. Heck yeah. So try to start over with your next action because you can have control over that. So remember, your body is not broken. It's just waiting for the right conditions to function the way that it was designed. So I challenge you for the next 7 days, just try this. Delay breakfast a little, stop eating a little earlier, and add 1 real whole food per day. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just try it, just start, and I promise your body will thank you for it, and so will your wallet. Maybe we won't go into medical debt or bankruptcy or whatever. You know, the more we can avoid going to the doctor for things that are controllable, you know, that's fantastic. So I do have a few different handouts that if you were interested, I could make copies for you. They're really helpful, like workbooks. So we have a patient that hosts classes here, and she did a class last year that was about intermittent fasting, but in direct relation to menopause and to women. So if anyone here is interested in that, I have a digital version of it. It has like so much information that is very helpful. It has that page that I handed out that had all the different types of fasting on it. Something that's super helpful, it kind of goes more into detail about different types of fasting that can support your hormones, your because as we go through menopause, we lose the chemicals in our body that help us retain muscle, and it's important to have muscle in your body, you know. Of course, energy, other hormones, and our gut. So this is really interesting because it really breaks it down very well, and it gives you suggestions of what the best things to eat to support those differences in your body. So you just let me know. It also has a little journal inside and some recipes for healthy chocolatey protein bombs and things like that. So if you're interested in this, let me know. I do have it digitally. I can email it to you, or if you would prefer a printout, I can print it out. Make a copy.
Can't you, John?
Yeah. So we also have a class that Don hosts. It's the Mindful Nutrition class, and he created a really awesome packet as well that has how to build a healthy eating routine, because fasting is fantastic, but if we don't know really how to eat, it's hard to do, and we get cravings and stuff like that. So this is really great. It just has some really helpful concepts inside. And then on top of that, I stapled behind this some recipes because the day we hosted that class, we asked our patients to bring recipes. So you will be able to utilize Bonnie and Shelly's lovely recipes that are in here. And Don, these are his recipes. Here are the Uncle Chicken and the Taco Zucchini boats. So if anybody wants a copy of that, let me know. I can make some copies. So yeah, does anyone have any questions at all about what we went over?
I do. May I go? These are good examples of what to eat,
Mm-hmm.
and how do we know if we're overdoing it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna eat a whole watermelon.
Sure, yeah,
So,
of course.
what do you, I mean, is there a feeling you get, or is there something we should know?
That's a really good question. Can you be a little bit more specific? Like, you mean,
These
obviously,
are great examples of, this
Whole
stuff,
foods.
introduce it to your body.
yeah,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a lot of things there and they're all good. So, do you go, this week I'm gonna do a banana a day or 3 a day?
The goal is to have a moderate serving of things, of course, everything in moderation, so you don't want to just eat all of one thing. You want to have a blend because you get different types of benefits from different food products. That is something that I could look into further, like helping you understand what category of food needs to be mixed with what.
And
Really?
how much, I guess, what
Yeah.
I'm thinking, because I don't wanna defeat the purpose.
Right,
if
right.
you commit to this,
Yes.
anybody, I guess, right?
So
Right.
in the class that I did with Mary Pate, she had talked about how, and you'll have to forgive me because this is where it gets pretty complicated and a little bit beyond my scope, as I'm only learning about this recently. But she was saying how, like, you don't want to mix your starches with carbs, and you want to have your veggies with protein. Things like that. Like, and I can look into this further for you, Richie, so I'm sorry that I don't have a more specific
you did a
answer.
wonderful job, it's helped, it's got me off to,
Yeah.
you got me teed up.
Yeah, and also in these couple of workbooks here, it goes in depth about that information. So I could even find like the specific pages in this women's focus workbook that kind of explains some of that stuff, Richie. And there's concepts like metabolic switching where you eat, starches and fruits or veggies, and then you eat potatoes and meat and stuff like that, like legumes or leafy greens. And you mix them together to gain a specific outcome. I am just not educated enough on it to be able to give you a direct answer, but I'm happy to look into it because I would benefit from knowing that information too. So
And I think too, do you remember the name of the app? You said you'd heard of it too. My daughter was using it.
MyFitnessPal.
There it is, yeah. I know with that app, and I'm sure there's others that do it, but it takes into account your body mass, like how large you are, but that will affect the amount of calories and quantity of food you should be eating throughout the day. But then it breaks down portion size as well. Because I think that's kind of what you're talking about. It's like what portions, right, should I be eating? But I think it's different for everybody. Like I think it scales to your body mass and how big you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're talking about fasting.
Yes.
So,
No, you're
Forgive
good,
me.
Richie. You go ahead.
you say, okay, I'm accomplishing it, I'm doing it,
Mhm.
I'm used to it, right? Because
Mhm.
that's what we gotta do is used to it. But how long do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
So, like the fast,
Yeah, I mean,
repeatedly 16/8
Is there a
fasting.
goal you set, the way you look in the mirror, like we don't want to
So,
look? Remember we talked?
I'm gonna answer the question like this. The goal of doing this is to have improved health over an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So this is beneficial for you always. An easy way to think about it, which when I heard this, it really put it into perspective for me. What do you think our ancestors were doing when they were eating? Were they eating all day long and everything they found the moment they found it? No, because they had to work so hard for everything that they were able to eat. So the goal is to, like, your body is created to function the way that I'm describing. We live in a society where we are instant gratification and full of abundance, and that is not healthy for us. However, we've been trained to live that way. So it is like a hill to climb. And to think about the concept in a long-term fashion is probably pretty like difficult. And I'll say for myself, like the other day, I was thinking that too. Like, how long do I do this until I lose 20 pounds? But the goal is to feel better all the time. So really, it won't hurt you if you do it for the rest of your life. But you're gonna have days where you want to eat all day. You know, like women, we have our week where we are going through something, so we kind of need to be eating a little bit more and taking in more nutrients at that time.
Are you getting anything out of it?
But you go ahead, Richie. What's your next question?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the way, like, I had this book that they broke it down to me, like, you know, hunters and gatherers, they had to hunt for their food, they had to haul it back to the camp, they had to take it apart and all that stuff. And then gathering, of course, you know, you're finding little bits and pieces as you go. So really the best way to be eating is light and lean and not all the time. Especially if you consider how your body has to process that food.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a huge culprit of eating a
Henry.
bunch of food right before I go to bed.
Yes.
It's actually my favorite time to eat food
Yes.
is right before I go to bed.
When you sit down and relax.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, because I have an issue where
Yeah,
food
like
is
you
like
do,
my
right?
emotional companion. Like, it makes me feel better.
Yes.
And that's why I started doing this fast, because I realized I have an unhealthy relationship with food. Like, I'll eat because I feel sad, or I'll
Yes.
eat because I'm excited, or I'll eat
When
because
you're
I'm
bored.
lonely. Yeah,
Yes.
because I'm bored.
Yes.
So this just really put into perspective that actually I just need to check in with myself and do other things. Like, I bet you in those moments where I feel bored or lonely or I'm turning to food, if I went for a walk and drank water instead,
Yeah.
not only would my body benefit, but, you know, like, my brain would benefit. And then I would have a healthier relationship with food. And then I wouldn't be craving certain foods. Like, I love chicken tenders and mashed potatoes. Oh my gosh, it is my favorite thing ever. And I really haven't been eating it that much. I used to eat it almost every day. I haven't really been eating it much.
So with this,
Mhm.
exercise is important,
Mhm.
and is there a way to introduce one to the other without
Sure.
overdoing one or whatever? So
Yeah.
if you exercise wrong, you get hungry and you eat goofy stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm confused. I mean, I'm in that age now. I don't know if it's too late.
I hear, yes, no, I hear what you're
Ship
saying.
may have sailed.
So,
Yeah.
so Richie, when you're having,
For where you put the vodka in these
Yeah.
drinks.
so that's where the concept comes in. It's not about, that sentence that I said, it's not about restricting foods. Like, if you want to eat pizza all day, every day, as long as you're eating in a smaller window and you're not eating constantly, I mean, yeah, it's not going to be the healthiest thing for you, but it's more about eating within that small window and allowing your body time to process what you've given it and distribute it to your organs so that it's resting and it's repairing your cells like it's supposed to, and you're getting better sleep, which means you're having better days and you're having better health, you know, things like that. He wants to get on his bed and I walk.
Right, well, I don't, yeah.
But I get what you're saying. It's
I'm pretty
very
good with food, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
and drinks.
As long as there's an olive around it.
yeah, that's your venture for the day.
Healthy.
So yeah, don't be too hard on yourself, you know, like but give it a try, you know, maybe, and honestly, you don't have to do it every day. Like someone said to me, just do it during the week when you're at work. Like, I find it really easy to accomplish this on the days that I'm working. Trust me, on the days that I'm not working, most of the time, my day is working around what I'm eating. So I just love food. I'm a foodie.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just, you know, like,
Start off maybe going by almost the strict part of it and back off to a point where you're starting to feel better and you're a little more comfortable based on your specific
absolutely.
body and all that stuff.
Or start off slow.
I've never done anything like this.
Yeah. Or start
Yes,
off
I
slow,
have.
Richie. Like, eat your pizza and drink your, you know, your cocktail or whatever.
Why do they look at me and they say pizza? I
Well,
don't even eat
I'm
shit.
I'm thinking about me. I've had pizza 3 times this week already. And, yeah, but go ahead and maintain those things. But maybe start by introducing whole foods purposely into your day. Like maybe starting your day with an apple instead of not eating breakfast and then going straight to a hot dog or something like that. You know, it's not about
That makes
perfection.
sense.
It's about small little baby steps that will help support your natural health within your body. We are capable of so much inside of ourselves that we just don't know how to do it. We haven't been taught
Yeah.
in our society anything about our bodies, honestly, let alone how to eat. And speaking on that, they change the food pyramid every
Oh.
Yeah, I
5
ignored
years.
that too.
So now
And that-
protein, meat is the number one
Yeah.
thing that they're telling us to eat. When 10 years ago they said, avoid red meat, avoid it. It's like, no.
And I can vouch for this somewhat because just starting about the beginning of March,
Mm-hmm.
I used to usually not eat breakfast till about 10 anyway.
Yeah, I'm a
And
big
sometimes
culprit
eat
of
an
that.
early dinner, but just I've been eating 2 meals a day
Mm-hmm.
since the start of the month, and I've lost 9 pounds.
Yeah,
Wow.
And I wasn't even trying to cut calories or anything.
yeah, it just kind of
But I was
happened.
just eating less, and I would find that when I would get a little hungry,
Mhm.
if I'd ignore it, it would go away.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
especially if you drink some water.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
some
a water
infused
drinker
water.
anyway. I drink a lot of water.
Well, and that's something
Okay.
I've had to really push myself towards. Like I said, I kind of fell ill and was afraid to eat food because I was really, really sick for a very long time. And I didn't want to experience that again. So I was sort of afraid to eat for a few days. So I unintentionally started on this fast. And then I was remembering and reflecting back on the class that I went to with Mary Pate, where she was talking about fasting, and of course I knew this was coming up and I didn't want to be a fraud and stand up here and talk about intermittent fasting without ever trying it. And in the time that I've done it, I mean, I've fallen off. I've eaten cake and cookies, and like last weekend I drank some wine and all of that. But in the time that I've been doing it, I've lost 7 pounds.
Yeah, see, and I haven't restricted. I mean, I've cut way back
Right.
on how much sweets I eat, but I haven't given up my cake or my
Yeah,
candy. or-
exactly. Well, and my hardest thing that I had to get over was when I go home, even if I just ate here at 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
I go home and I sit in my bed and I want to eat something sweet.
Yes.
So I've purposely been I live by myself, so I'm not starving anyone. And you know, I don't really have a kitchen where I live. So what I have at my house is typically like grab and go stuff like protein bars or something like that. So I've purposely been not buying anything unless if it's fruit to keep at my house or yogurt. I'll make an exception for yogurt. And so then I'm forcing myself to not eat after 7 o'clock. And it took me a little while to be able to get there and feel comfortable, but I was forcing myself to drink water. Anytime I felt a hunger pain, water. I would just chug water because it suppresses your appetite. And then if you add like cucumber or something to it, it gives you some flavor. So then you're kind of tricking your brain into thinking that you're having something to eat, but really you're not. And then you're getting the benefits of drinking water and hydrating and adding some kind of fruit or herb or something like that to it. Do you have any other questions? And it's okay if you're confused.
I'm not a religious man, but I was just thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
If I went to the good Lord and said, start me over, and I promise I won't screw it up again. No chance. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Back to these.
One and done, Richie.
One
One
and
and
done.
done.
One and done.
Yeah, we know that one. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's all I have for you guys. So I hope that you got something to take away from this.
I say,
Oh, thank you, Richie. Thank you, guys. Thanks. I was nervous and I was sweating and my palms were sweating.
Hey, lost 5 pounds.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But thank you, Don, for
Share
my
your water.
handouts.
Next class you want to plug?
Oh yeah, so as most of you probably know, I know Michelle, you're pretty new. We do have an in-house yoga instructor. Her name is Gabby Coppersmith. She is amazing. I love her. And if you know anything about me, you know that I'm all into connecting with nature and like the way your body is supposed to operate without any kind of intervention. So she does sound healing baths, which probably you hear that and you're like, oh, that's some woo-woo stuff. I'm not doing that. But if you really think about it, your body is an electrical being. It is constantly vibrating at a specific frequency or multiple frequencies, depending on where you're at and how you're feeling. So a sound bath is a legitimate way to use vibrations and frequencies to create specific reactions in your body that will benefit your health and enhance your health in a natural way, especially like for focus or sleep. I mean, it's really amazing. In fact, like a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting here working late, and she had a sound healing bath at like 7:30. And I got up, I was like, I have to leave because I'm going to fall asleep. It was so relaxing. So next Tuesday, Gabby is giving a class that's Sound Healing 101. So if you find yourself interested, I bet you that she'll probably do some examples and things like that. And truly, if you want to get in touch with how your body actually works, I mean, that's something that we all should be adding into our health repertoire, if you will. So yeah.
All right.
We've always got the book, the sign-up book. It's always on this lectern. So if you're interested, feel free to write your name down. And of course, we'll send you the text on Monday. And if you still want to come or bring someone with you, feel free.
Alrighty.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, guys.
I would like that digital from
Okay.
Don.
Do you want me to email? Oh,
Yes.
So
Both of them.
both of them.
Yeah.
Cool. I can do that. Yeah, they're really awesome.
That's half off.
This right here, this is what we drink
Oh, is it?
when we're doing, during the fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you
Okay.
can. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm always water is your best friend. So like in the morning, if you like, really the best way to start would probably be to drink like 12 or 20 ounces of just plain water, and then in an effort to push your breakfast back a little bit, drink an infused water.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Get
not
that
only
taste, get
it'll
that
give you flavor, it'll trick your
Yeah.
brain into thinking it's having something to eat.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I mean, if you Google it, you'll find so much information about how beneficial detox waters are, like infused